being 9 o'clock, we start the Board of Pharmacy meeting. I want a short video about the remote access for the meeting.
Welcome to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting. When the meeting begins momentarily, the chair will take a roll call, explain any specific rules for this particular board, and then move to public comment. The name of the board member will appear on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. For instance, this is board member Y, and this is board member E. Public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. You can indicate that you are ready to testify by clicking on the Raise Hand button being circled by the mouse on your screen now. At the appropriate time, the board will recognize you to speak and ask you to unmute your mic as shown here. Again, public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. Public attendees will not be able to unmute their microphone until recognized by the board. Public attendees who are recognized to testify will be asked to identify themselves by name and their affiliated organization if applicable. Please mute your microphone when you are finished speaking as a courtesy to others and members of the board. Public attendees will not be able to unmute themselves after the testimony is completed unless recognized again after raising their hand. At some point during the meeting, the board may choose to move into executive session. When the board moves into executive session, the board members' microphones and video feeds will be turned off, and a similar screen as you see now will be displayed. When the board returns from executive session, their microphones will be turned on as well as their video cameras. Welcome again to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting. At this time, the chair will call the meeting to order and take a roll call, as well as explain any additional rules that may be specific to this board.
We'll do a roll call. Alan. Here. Brenda. Here. Sherry.
Here.
And Sherilyn, right?
Here.
Sherilyn's
Or Cheryl, doesn't matter.
already member. And Catalina is
Here.
remote. Okay. And you're in
Yes,
The room
I'm in a
by
room
yourself?
all by myself.
Okay, so we'll open the meeting. Gonna approve the minutes. Any comments or testimony on the minutes?
No public testimony at this time, Chair.
Okay, can I have a motion on the minutes?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve.
Second?
Second.
Okay, Brandon. All in favor, say aye. Any
Hi.
opposed?
Aye.
So the chair report, we do have 2 new members, Cheryl is here today, and then we also have one from, Hawaii, Leanne, which, here, but, she has been appointed. She just needs to go through the process of, signing papers and putting in. There's 2 meetings that, NAVP has coming up that they would like participation from board members. The first one is September 30th and October 1st. It's a member forum. It's in Chicago area, and they request 1 member to attend. I'm willing to go if it's okay with you guys. Just need to get a vote to approve that.
Motion to approve, Mark, as the representative for the volleyball pharmacy.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. The second one is the MPJE State Specific Review. That's where members will look at questions that are currently in the law exam and also new questions and add them to the law exam for upcoming exams. And NABP requests 2 members to go to that in person, again in Chicago. And last March when we were there for writing questions, we actually asked them if we could have 3 members because we were trying to get Alana to go as well, and Alan and myself to go back to review the questions. Any discussion on that, or? So I move to ask if we can have the three of us go again. Any second on that?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed? Okay. So new business. I think I'd like to ask to go into executive session to confer with our attorney on some questions that we have about new business. We get a motion to go into executive session?
Wants to go to executive session.
Second?
Second.
Sure. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We'll go into executive session. This should be pretty quick. regular session.
Just waiting for Catalina to join us.
Sorry, I'm not used to having to look for a prompt.
There you go.
I'm back.
Can hear you. So we'll move to new business. The first correspondence was from his name here. Do we have some phone? No. About Christina Ongoing about the business that they have. One could see if there's any licenses that they need to get. Any comments?
Mhm.
No public testimony.
Okay. Tony? It looks like the functions that they're doing would qualify for a wholesale distribution permit, which if it's out of state, then would be a miscellaneous permit. So I move that we inform them that they will need to, if they're going to do this business, that they need to get a miscellaneous permit. Can I get a second? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Opposed? The second correspondence is from pharmacy in St. Dan. Asking a question about pharmacies here not accepting transfers from Saipan. Is there any comment, testimony?
No public testimony.
No. Comments from the board?
So based on our discussion, there's nothing that precludes prohibiting pharmacies in Hawaii from taking prescriptions from U.S. territories such as the Northern Mariana Islands.
Okay.
That would be our correspondence or term correspondence.
Can I have a motion for that?
I move to approve.
Do we need to put as long as it's not a controlled substance?
We can say that, yeah. Except controlled substances. I'll second that.
That would be a rule they know already, right? If they're licensed in.
They should.
Yeah.
It'd be the pharmacist accepting it here should know that. All in favor of that motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Not opposed? Yes. Send that application. Next, we have two communications from NABP. The first one is regarding pharmacy to pharmacy marketplace and HIV medications that they're notifying another communication by safemedicines.org that is saying any online P2P marketplaces that are trading HIV medications should be considered as suspect product and warns that pharmacy shouldn't be purchasing these medications from them. Any comments? Any testimony? I think it's just information. And then the second one from NABP is communication from Alabama, their board of pharmacy. And they're just talking about how their board of medical examiners has put out something about not allowing research grade peptides to be compounded, given by prescribers. So that's really just information as well. Last month we had something from Eli Lilly regarding peptides that they were saying was being used in a doctor's office in Wailea. So it's just this information as well. Any comments? Then go into old business. So we had a big, we kind of place talking about miscellaneous permit application process. Did we have this in there? Okay.
So for this matter, if the board moves into executive session, then I can advise and counsel the board
Okay.
on the board's powers, duties, privileges, immunities, and liabilities regarding the permitted interaction group.
Okay. I move that we go into executive session. Give you a second.
Second.
Sherry, all in favor, say aye.
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 Vote. We're back in executive session. Okay, so we're on old business. We're under section A, discussion of the final report from the pig. There was recommendations to modify the miscellaneous permit application. Currently, the application just has a few things that we ask. If you're a wholesaler, if you're an oxygen distributor, are you shipping medications into the state? Are you preparing, manufacturing, compounding, and packing and repacking of drugs? It's basically all that we currently have on our application. And we'd like to add some additional things to the application to include wholesalers, oxygen wholesalers, compounding, specifically 503A, 503B, sterile compounding for those non-dispensing pharmacies like consultation or MTM, and for dispensing mail order. So we'd like to ask the applicant to check off all the boxes that apply to their intended business for wholesalers to distribute or dispense any prescription drugs other than pharmacists, physicians, dentists, veterinarians, and optometrists. For any wholesale prescription drug distributor to sell or distribute medical oxygen to a physician, pharmacist, medical oxygen distributor, patient or patient's legal or agent pursuant to a prescription or emergency medical services for administration by trained personnel for oxygen deficiency and resuscitation or pursuant to a prescription order. Or 3, for any person or principal or agent to conduct or engage in the business of preparing, manufacturing, compounding, packaging, or repackaging any drugs. 4, for any out-of-state pharmacy or entity engaged in any manner to distribute, ship, handle, or deliver prescription drugs or devices into the state. Next one is for any out-of-state pharmacy or entity engaged in the practice of pharmacy with no intent to distribute drugs. And then goes into out-of-state 503A pharmacies that are doing sterile. Then also 503A that are doing non-sterile. And then for 503B pharmacies that are doing sterile. And for 503B pharmacies that are doing non-sterile. And then part of that is also we're going to be making these changes based on the ability that's in HAR 1695-21B-14 and HRS 436B-10A9 that the Board of Pharmacy can make changes to applications. We're going to also ask pharmacies to check off on these questions. Will your pharmacy be compounding patient-specific prescriptions following all USB guidelines? Will your pharmacy be distributing compounded preparations, FDA 503B outsourcing? If yes, attach a copy of the most recent FDA inspection within the last year. Will your pharmacy be compounding or shipping sterile compounds to Hawaii? If yes, attach a copy of the table of contents of your pharmacy's standard operating procedure for compounding sterile preparations. Attach a copy of all sterile preparation compounded by your pharmacies. Attach documentation that shows the pharmacy is compliant with USP 797. Conducts the following tests: sterile compound sterility, fungal, and endotoxin. This includes the most recent air and surface testing, most recent aseptic manipulation competency for all compounders, most recent hood inspection certifications. And D, attach a copy of the third-party certified ship testing for controlled room temperature and refrigerated products. Then will your pharmacy be compounding and shipping hazardous compounds to Hawaii? If yes, attach a copy of the pharmacy's standard operating procedure to show compliance with USP 800 shipping requirements for hazardous materials. And attach a copy of the third-party certified ship testing for controlled room temperature and refrigerated products. Is there any comments? Any testimony?
No public testimony here.
I'd like to move to pass this on to the executive officer to compile and put together so we can look at it as a board, so we can vote on these things. Can I get a second on that?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay.
As we give vote on with that, should be, I guess that's not. This is kind of combined. I think that's. Maybe if there's a motion for just to approve that information first,
Okay.
and then it can be delegated.
And based on the statute.
Oh, yeah, I mean, oh, he did list the statutes, yeah.
So to have a motion to,
Yeah, everything that you listed, to have a
Okay.
motion to have that included in the application.
okay. Do we have that motion? Do we have that information included in the future application?
I so move.
Second? Second. All fair side?
Aye.
Aye.
None opposed? Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next section is going through the amendments to the HER that's been working on. And we've done. Audited, where did we leave off? Was that the miscellaneous permit was for
16-95-31.
31. This is basically including what we just talked about, wasn't it? At this point, we're just talking about it, right? Not if there's any discussion or any.
We can discuss.
Okay. Is there any testimony on this section? Any questions or comments? Let's get on. When we modify the application, do we need to put that application into the rule, or that's this the application, so we don't have to specify all of that?
It doesn't have to be necessarily put in the rules, but I think, so the blue is what's recommended to be added, right? So it is updating it. So it is saying that.
As a business differentiation, yeah.
Yeah.
The question that I had is because miscellaneous permit statutes isn't limited to out-of-state pharmacy or entity, it doesn't preclude in-state entity as it's and the 46115 7B, so I guess A through D, the requirements, the only requirements that are specified in 461 HRS are those four subsections under A7. which is only related to the out-of-state pharmacy or entity. So my question is, do we need to specify that these requirements that are added, that are proposed right now as 31B, as the verification of license or the verification of the pharmacist license, those are under 461 only applied on out of state. Do we need to specify that those requirements are only would apply to out of state? Or do they apply to everyone? If we put the language as is written right now in the blue, it seems to me that it will apply to everyone that's applying for miscellaneous permit, including the in-state person, entity or person that's applying under the other more unique situations that's allowed under 461-15.
Right. Yeah, so if the board wants to distinguish, then yes, it would need to be specified. Because as you mentioned, currently in the recommended language for 1695-31, it does say, the way it reads is that the application shall include, and then it lists all of that, and that would apply to all of the miscellaneous permit applicants. So if the board wants to specify that certain requirements are only for out-of-state pharmacies, then yes, that would have to be specified.
The only in-state ones that would be applying for miscellaneous permit is basically the oxygen.
Or any person, the auction, any person that's distributing samples of any prescription drugs. And any person that's conducting or engaging in the business of preparing, manufacturing, compounding, packing, or repackaging. Yes.
And the recommended additions in 1695-31, is this consistent with what was moved to be updated in application?
I believe so.
Okay.
So do we have to specify which one of these, or is it, could we just say only for out-of-state entities?
Yeah, it depends on how the board wants to word it. I'm trying to think what might be easier to follow. Like if the board lists, if they list these ones and then there's a separate one for out-of-state pharmacy, or if it were to say, so it really, yeah, there's a lot of ways that it can be done.
But essentially the subsection B, 1695-31, the proposed for the text, that is, the intention of that is to, these are the additional requirements that we want the out-of-state entity pharmacy to follow.
Okay.
Right, so we could
Oh,
put
so all
all
of-
in there.
Yeah, so all of B is only for out-of-state then? Is that?
That was my understanding,
Okay.
but wanted to
Yeah.
see if that.
Because that's one is all those things. Yeah.
But what about requirements for in-state pharmacies then? Because if you specify that this is what's being required of out-of-state pharmacies, then it's silent as to what in-state pharmacies provide. Because currently, it only says the miscellaneous permit and application shall be filed 15 days.
First
before the-
paragraph, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing. So there's nothing.
So that one's still the same, which is in addition, these are for the out-of-state
Mhm.
parentheses.
Correct, but then,
Should we have something, you're saying, should we have something that says that we need more just for the in-state ones as well?
yes, that's something that, yeah, the board can consider because it just seems odd that the board would specify that only out of state would have, I guess, public testimony.
1695-26 would be in-state though, right? The funds.
Yeah.
So like, that would be the in-state requirement.
Okay.
Well, there are things that are not really considered pharmacy, right? The
Or the
oxygen.
miscellaneous permit, one,
Yeah.
right? So, but the in-state pharmacy is still
Yeah.
in 1695-26, and then miscellaneous permit would be in-state other entity, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah. But so that's why I wasn't sure is, there would be in-state miscellaneous permit holders, but would they already have received their pharmacy permit, their in-state pharmacy permit for per 1695-26? Not necessarily?
not
Yeah,
necessarily.
oxygen.
Okay, which is why then, if it's not specified in 1695-31 for in-state
Entities.
miscellaneous, correct, entities, then it's currently silent as to what is required for in-state entities who are miscellaneous permit holders.
So there should be like a D that says for those that are, you know, just add a section.
Mhm. Or I mean, it would, yeah, it wouldn't necessarily be D, but it would be, yeah, I would say like, yeah.
Section.
Because I think that the current C would still be at the very end, so that would be then changed to D.
Okay.
Maybe that's something that we need to table and look into to see.
Yeah.
We don't have a ton of data on what type of businesses or,
Mhm.
we know that there are in-state permit, miscellaneous permit holders. We don't know what they were approved on to do, to know that what sort of documents are, should be required outside of the regular,
Okay.
basic information. So my suggestion would be to
Table it and.
go in and look and do more investigation to see,
Okay.
and come back with the language
Okay.
to address that.
But it sounds like currently for B, the proposed B right now, that definitely would have to add some language that that's specifically for out of state. Entities.
So do most states probably put, pharmacies in other states that have, two different requirements for in-state and out-of-state? They just like separated by two separate sections. One in-state, blah, 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 what the regulations are, and then a second paragraph, out-of-state, something like to clearly separate.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that
so
what
that's
it's-
kind of, yeah, I think that was the discussion. So then, yeah, it could be, for example, there's already an A, so then it could be B as these are the requirements for in-state entities, and then C would be these are the requirements for out-of-state entities, and then D would be the current C, which says a change in the type of business shall require the filing of a new application.
Okay, I got it. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We still need to work at that then. How much of that? The next section was 9533. Just updating the date of the exam. And 95-30-36 was just. That was for vaccine. Okay. For restoration of public license, section 73. The rate was what was previously recommended.
Previously voted to remove,
Okay.
and after review of the HRS, the, the board started to look into putting back in.
Okay.
I think the difference in blue versus red is the questions on whether or not the applicant has been actively engaged in the practice of pharmacy.
All right, for the $1,500 of the last 5 years.
Yeah, I think the way it's written right now in the blue text, the proposed text is if the applicant has been actively engaged in a practice pharmacy in the state or another state within the last 5 years, then they can provide evidence of good standing in another state and provide a 1,500-hour certification that they were practicing in the last 5 years. But if they haven't been actively engaged in the last 5 years, then they'll have to retake the MPJE. So the proposed language is to allow applicants that have been practicing to not have to take the MPJE again, because that felt that it was pretty strict. So basically redoing, starting over. Concerns or thoughts on that?
And then after the 3rd year, you have to start over from scratch.
Yes.
Questions? And added the 18 years for 586. And you have to bring them all premium.
Can we go 79? Do you think there's like a blue section says update to the line? Last time. I don't know if we ever did that. Update to align with the new definition of remote supervision. That was from the feeling, but
Oh, I think this is where we said that we're as in accordance with this chapter.
oh, okay. I mean, do we want to spell out or?
It's in the ends of it. We have the new. The remote part.
That would be in the definitions in the beginning.
We're gonna just fix the definition and that's not. I don't know, like if it's gonna be on. In definitions, is that enough? For supervision or?
Yeah. And then it would just refer the person back to the definitions that you will need. Yeah, that's pretty common. I mean, it makes it harder for the reader, but that's pretty common that to refer other sections.
And the section 19 also at the end talks through remote processing.
Sorry, you said 19?
Then the right at the very end. Go, the subject there. For youth and other intersections.
Oh,
131.
Oh, yeah, past 131. 134, sorry.
oh, 19, I see. But the red, oh, the red is approved, it's,
Mhm.
okay. Okay.
Did we decide interns have to be immediately supervised? We did, right, last time? Because we took out immediately in the supervision section.
I believe that was because in the HRS definition of the intern, it had the language immediate.
Yeah, I know, I think that's kind of weird, but, I mean, in this section, in the supervision section of like pharmacists, we took out the word immediately or. Is can we listen to more people, maybe not at all. Well, you weren't here.
I believe. Which one was that?
For the definition of,
No,
Oh, 75 and 79.
I think we took it out because in the sentence in accordance with this chapter, it does say immediately in it, so that way we wouldn't have to say it
Again,
for the text and the,
Oh.
I believe so.
okay.
So was that? This provision, those were thought that, so you expect a remote processing is that. That's by that.
yeah, now I can't find, all I can find in the definitions is remote supervision, but is it in the definitions for supervision, immediate supervision of interns? Oh, but. I guess if it's in 461, then yeah, we would have to put it in HAR.
Not certified there.
Because, yeah, to Alana's point, I needed. We're referring to this chapter, but if there's nowhere that says that interns need to be immediately supervised, if that's what the requirement is, then yeah, it would need to be stated.
Can you cover it in parent chapter? And next to 24, did we add anything there?
We took out the interns in the remote supervision definition.
Right, I remember talking about the remote supervision thing, but then now that you brought up the, yeah, and specifically in 1695-79, yeah. It refers to in accordance with this chapter, but then I can't find any part in the chapter that talks about pharmacy interns supervision. That has to be, oh wait, oh, that's 461.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, oh, it's in 416.
So we add that.
Yeah, so that would have to be, yeah. included somehow. Yeah, probably I think it'd be best if it's in the definitions, because
Definition
then,
of the pharmacy intern, or are we adding definition of immediate supervision?
Well, I think we'd have to include a definition of pharmacy intern maybe, because in 1695-79, it doesn't say immediate supervision, it just says supervise. So if you want to make sure that it's clear that the pharmacy intern has to be supervised immediately, then probably would be a definition of pharmacy intern. And that definition would specify that the pharmacy intern must be immediately supervised. Because then, yeah, with Mark saying that there was a definition of immediate supervision, but that's in 461. Oh, I see, because there's a pharmacy intern permit.
Immediate supervision is in 6095 definitions.
Oh, it's.
It specifically says where a pharmacy intern or pharmacy technician is working. So I'm changing that.
Wait, which definition is that?
Immediate supervision.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, no, I mean, that's good, but yeah, it does, to Alana's point, I mean, it doesn't say that the pharmacy intern must be immediately supervised. It just says the definition of immediate supervision is that there's someone supervising an intern, but you know what I mean? It's like, yeah,
That must be, it's.
correct, yeah.
It's
So,
not that though, where it says pharmacy intern
Oh.
was issued a permit by the board to work under the.
oh, there is a
immediate
definition of
supervision
pharmacy intern,
administrative-
sorry, I didn't see that, okay.
Definition.
I think it's because of all the red and the blue, it like.
Yeah, it's a little difficult here. And definition of 1695 two. Pharmacy intern,
Mhm. Yeah, there it is, okay.
so. Is that why we said it? in this
Yes, that
topic?
is why. Yeah. See how hard it is for the reader.
But this that satisfies though. having
It
this in
does.
here? Okay.
Yeah, it does.
So no changes are needed to
39.
79. Is that the conclusion of the sixth thing?
Yes, yeah, yes. that's-
Is that satisfy your discussion, Alana?
I just don't like having to look in these five places.
Yeah, that's,
You know?
It would be
unfortunately,
nice.
that's how like all the laws are. It always refers you to some other section and then you have to go look that up and then.
We could put it in the instructions for the application. For the intern, so the intern knows that they have to be immediately supervised.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
Well, hopefully the pharmacist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
Supervising them, tell us.
Yeah, yeah.
So is that? See, that was all the.
Oh, there's, which one is this? For 1695-86, that 3B, the blue part. I mean, super minor, just, I would just add the requirements, so just
Okay.
guns. That's, yeah.
I guess we can run it. We did run it because we have to go last week, that's 31, right?
Just go over 31 next time.
So even, so all of this was reviewed, even then, I mean, apart from going back next time, but new sections too? Okay.
That was previously, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay,
There was no additional changes,
okay.
but it still hasn't been finalized, so.
Okay.
So other than the section 31, we need to just update on what we went over today. rest of it we've gone through.
Put it back on the agenda for the rest of the meeting to vote all together,
Yeah.
all together. Everything, or do we need to vote for everything except 31?
Oh, I mean, it's up to the board how the board wants to do it. It might just be easier just to do it all
Yeah.
together.
If we find anything else as
Okay.
we're reviewing, we
Yeah.
might
Okay, but
update that.
the primary reason is because of 31. So study it and see if there's anything else.
Okay.
All right. Top of that.
Okay. I'm ready to do this. All right.
We need a motion to put it back on our agenda for next.
Yeah. So just refer to the numbers.
Yeah, I think just that is, or a motion to defer it to the, yeah. Motion to defer it to next week.
Listen to defer discussion of, changes to the revisions to transfers to, that's me.
A second.
Okay. Brandon, all fair say aye.
Aye.
Julie? Okay, so the next section is applications for licensure. So we are going to both go to executive session, and then is there anybody that's going to be testifying that's on the agenda?
See two names.
Nobody?
No raised hands, Chair.
Are they on
Oh,
their
I
own?
see a hand.
And there's two.
Okay.
Oh, I think another one, Heather Paul. Previously let me know, so maybe she's having.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, so can we either vote to go into executive session?
Do we want to do it the same person or?
Or we want to be in executive session?
Oh, okay.
or we can let them know
Okay.
too.
So is there someone from Northern VA Compounders? Okay. So we'll meet with him first, and then we'll go. Carrie,
Nina Patel is for, Synapse.
Synapse, okay, sure. Okay. So we'll call you as we get to your application. We'll go into executive session to evaluate confidential information.
Listen.
Sure.
Yes, I can.
All fair say aye.
Hi.
Okay. We're in executive session. If you're all done. Okay, so applications, do I have a motion for applications?
Motion for Northern Virginia compounders also doing business as a Kena Pharmacy for approval. Is that right? Yes.
Can we do both?
Or should we just, do both? And Synapse Health.
So sure, I second.
Do we want to make the comment about Synapse separate about, because it is only O2 and DME that,
You can specify that,
Okay.
yeah, in the motion.
Okay, so, right, so, okay, first motion to approve, Northern Virginia compounders doing business as a Kena Pharmacy.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion to approve Synapse Health Incorporated for miscellaneous, permit. By reason, let's see,
Based on the testimony.
based on the testimony and the fact that it is only a unique medical oxygen supplier.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. And then Sharp Clinical Services, and move to defer. Awaiting information from them.
Second.
All the seconds, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Not opposed? Okay, move. So the next meeting, the ratification list. Can I have a motion on the ratification list?
I'll move to approve the ratification list.
Second,
Second.
Alan, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So the proposed meeting, the next one is September 24th. Is everyone going to be available?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so are we good for September and now November?
Do you want to make that
Yes.
announcement now?
So we're going to cancel the meeting in August. And cancel the meeting in October. And so the next meeting is in December as well as the plan. So September and November will be the last two meetings of this year. Okay. And what was the date of it? Was it the third week?
19.
The 19th of November. Okay. I think that's it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's this?